All right, let's dive into one of the most feared parts of the entire IELTS exam, the academic reading test. Look, this isn't just about reading fast. This is a tactical guide, a game plan for beating the clock and outsmarting the questions. So let's get right into it.
Everything, and I mean everything, comes down to this one number, 60. You get 60 minutes. That's it. And believe me, it is not a lot of time for what they throw at you. This isn't about enjoying an article. It's a flat-out, high-stakes race against time.
And that's exactly why we're calling this the gauntlet, because that's what it feels like. It's not just testing your English, It's testing your strategy, your nerve, and how you handle yourself under some serious pressure. Let's break down exactly what you're facing.
I mean, just look at the numbers here. You've got 3 long, really dense academic articles. The topics could be anything from environmental science to sociology. Then they hit you with 40 complex questions, all while that 60-minute countdown is staring you right in the face. It's truly a marathon run at a sprinter's pace.
But here's the thing, and this is so important. Speed is not enough to get you through this. The test is actually designed with these sneaky, deliberate traps. It's built to catch you out if you're just skimming and not really thinking. So the first step to winning is understanding how to disarm those traps. And here it is, the big one. The question type that causes more stress and confusion than pretty much any other. True, false, or not given. This isn't just checking if you understood the text. Oh no, it's a logic puzzle, and it's designed to be tricky. Okay, so let's break this down, because this is where so many people get tripped up. False is simple enough. It means the text directly contradicts the statement. It says the opposite. But not given, that's the tricky one. It means the information is just not there. You can't guess, you can't assume. If the passage doesn't say anything about it, one way or another, it is not given. Getting this right, it's an absolute game changer. And that leads us to this quote, which is honestly the perfect mindset you need to adopt. You literally do not have time to read and understand every single word. The real skill is being a surgeon, going in with precision to find the exact piece of information you need to answer the question, and then getting out.
So how do you actually develop that kind of precision? Well, it all starts with phase 1. Mastering your movement through the text. This is all about reading smarter, not just trying to force yourself to read harder or faster.
You really need to master 2 very different skills here. First is skimming. Think of this as getting the lay of the land. You're reading fast to get the main idea, the gist of what a paragraph is about. Then you have scanning. This is your search party. You're not reading for meaning at all. You're hunting for a specific thing like a name, a date, or a keyword. Knowing when to skim and when to scan is absolutely fundamental. Now, once you can move through the text like a pro, you need a specific plan of attack for the questions. This is phase 2, disarming the traps. Think of these as the cheat codes for each question type. For true/false not given, it all comes back to that razor-sharp logic. For matching headings, your best friend is the topic sentence. It's almost always the first or second sentence of a paragraph, and it basically tells you the main point. And for pretty much every question, you have to be on the lookout for synonyms. The test almost never uses the exact same word in the question and the text. It's their sneaky way of checking if you actually understand the meaning. Okay, so knowing all this is great, right? But theory doesn't mean much if you can't deliver on test day. And that brings us to the most important part, phase 3, building your endurance. This is how you turn all that knowledge into a fantastic score. This right here, this might be the single most critical piece of advice, the 20-minute rule. You have 60 minutes for 3 passages, which means 20 minutes each. When you practice, you have to be ruthless with this. When that 20-minute timer goes off, you stop and move on. Period. No exceptions. This builds that internal clock you absolutely have to have.
And your practice needs to have a structure. You follow this smart loop. First, you do some passages with no timer at all. Just focus on getting the answers right. Then, you start the clock with timed sets. This is where you build speed and stamina. But the real magic happens in step 3. You analyze your errors. You figure out why you got questions wrong.
So, what is error analysis? It sounds fancy, but really you're just being a detective. After you finish a practice test, you're not just checking which answers were wrong. You're digging deeper. You're asking, okay, was this a vocabulary problem? Did I run out of time? Did I just misunderstand the question? You start categorizing your mistakes so you can find your own personal patterns.
And when you do that, you'll probably find something that looks a bit like this. You get real data on yourself. Maybe you realize, wow, 40% of my mistakes are because I didn't know a word. Great, now you know exactly what to study.
This is how you stop just practicing blindly and start fixing the specific things that are holding your score back from hitting that 30+ correct answers mark.
So in the end, yeah, the texts are hard and the questions are tricky, but your number one opponent is always that clock. With the right strategy for how you read, how you answer, and especially how you practice, you can walk in there totally prepared. The only question left is your strategy ready?